So, what would you imagine that you would be doing on the evening before Thanksgiving? If your answer was, I don't know, maybe watching a movie with your family, I don't know, maybe checking over your flight tickets on the flight that you shouldn't be taking tomorrow morning, but you're doing it anyway because you're a selfish piece of shit and you don't care about other people during a pandemic. Maybe, right, you're getting ready, remembering who to call. You're getting a list of who to call because you're staying home. You're a responsible citizen. Well, I've got news for you. If you were doing any of those things, you're lucky. All right, so in Los Angeles, police officers were caught on video using battering rams to evict homeless people from vacant properties on the evening before Thanksgiving. Let's look at this. So this is from NBC News, and I've got some video here on Twitter. So the California Highway Patrol contended with protesters on Thanksgiving evening as officers forcefully removed people who had taken over vacant state-owned homes in a Los Angeles neighborhood. Children. They used battering rams to scare the shit out of sleeping children. Homeless, sleeping children in the middle of winter. In an unprecedented pandemic and depression, they used battering rams on children. The group Reclaim and Rebuild Our Community said its members occupied the houses in El Sereno on Wednesday, and the so-called reclaimers included families with infants who had been previously living in cars and encampments. Around 100 CHP officers who had assembled nearby to remove the occupants were met by activists who lined up to try to prevent law enforcement from driving away with their members. How much money is being wasted on these cops? How much money is being wasted on the gas, on all the cars that these cops are using to drive to these homeless people living in a vacant house? It's not like they broke into someone's house. Oh no, Sally came home and found homeless people in a house, and oh no, these are vacant homes. These homes have no people living in them, right? It is winter. It is cold. There's a pandemic and depression on the evening before Thanksgiving. How much money was wasted by these police officers? Huh? If these people are wasting any more than $50, then why the fuck can't we use that money to make sure that these people have homes? More money was wasted paying for overtime, paying for gas on the cars and the motorcycles that these motherfuckers drove on down here, paying for the equipment that they utilized. More money was wasted on this stupid PR campaign than would have been necessary to make sure that these children had a place to sleep at night. Think about that, motherfucker. Matt Rocco, a spokesman for Caltrans, said the agency requested the CHP remove trespassers so that the properties can be resecured and boarded up because they are unsafe and uninhabitable for occupants. You know what else is unsafe? Sleeping at a bus stop when it's fucking 5 degrees centigrade in the middle of a pandemic. You know what else is unsafe? Sleeping in an alleyway during a rain or snowstorm during a pandemic. You know what else is unsafe? Having millions of veterans, right? Millions of homeless people, some of which are veterans, sleeping on the street at night when we waste more money enforcing these property laws than would have been required to make sure that these people have a place to stay. That, I think, is unsafe, and I think that is uninhabitable for the occupants of this country. Videos posted on social media showed officers using battering rams to knock down the doors of the houses and carrying people out of the yard, where one person appeared to be hog-tied. Social media posts from activists said the removals continued Thursday afternoon. So I've got videos here. Now imagine, again, these so-called human beings are hog-tying children on the evening of Thanksgiving, right? Hey. And you can just check these videos here. The evening of Thanksgiving, they're hog-tying children. Because, oh, what about the money? Oh, what about the money? We need the money, they say. How many officers are being dispatched? A job, I don't know, that could have been done by 2 officers? How many I see at least 5 here. Why are you wasting money? Our taxpayer money. Why are you wasting our taxpayer money on having these officers do things when they don't need to do them? They could be sitting at home with their family, yet you're employing them, wasting their money? Wasting our money? Our taxpayer money? Unbelievable.
Back up. Back up. Back that line. Press can be back there. Back up. Come on. Let's go. Ma'am. Back up.
They have guns. They have guns aimed at children here. So there's more videos, as you can see.
This guy's got his gun pointed into the home.
There's no weapons in the home.
This isn't, you'd be thinking, if you were to look at this clip, you'd be thinking, oh, are they going to arrest a cocaine salesman? You know, like the leader of a cartel? Are you going to arrest the leader of a cartel? No, they're hog-tying children. That's what they're doing. You might be thinking, oh, why are we wasting thousands of dollars breaking into this house? You know, clearly it must be a public health, concern. Maybe public safety. Maybe there's like, I don't know, like nuclear weapons being constructed. Maybe there's a meth lab in here. Nah, just children sleeping. Just children sleeping.
Illegal.
Children fucking sleeping. Get the guns, get the SWAT team for the sleeping children. These are not human beings. I want this to be explicitly clear. There is no good cop. There is no such thing as a good cop. These are not human beings. These are tools. These people, they have no empathy. They have no soul. They have no humanity. They are robots. They are NPCs. They are tools of evil, right? If these people, remember, during the Nuremberg trials, when all of the Nazi officers were being held, right, at trial, what was their excuse? I was just following orders. Adolf Hitler told me to go murder 6 million Jewish people. I was just following orders, they said. That's what these people are saying. Oh, I'm just following orders. I was told to hog-tie children in the middle of the winter during a pandemic, so I did it. All the money being wasted on this stupid fucking garbage could have been used to make sure that these children had a place to sleep at night, but they're not doing that. They being the United States government. Why? Because it is a government that profits off of the poor. It profits off of this. They make money in the contract fees. They take the margins, percentages off. You think when these cops buy supplies like guns and battering rams, who do you think is selling those guns and battering rams to these police departments? Rich corporate donors that are making these policies. The same ones that tell kids that they need to be hogtied and thrown into the cold are the ones making money off of the rope being used to hogtie them. These people are not humans. They're not people. They're not thinking beings with families. They are evil scumbags. There is no good cop. There is no good cop. If you think there's a good cop, you are falling for propaganda. I'm sorry. Yes, even your uncle, your brother, your father. I know they might pretend to be a good cop, but that's all part of the ruse. They are trained to be husks of people. They are trained just like serial killers try to be normal. Oh, I'm just that creepy guy next door. Well, I'm not that creepy. You know, I'm not that. I'm cool. I've got a girlfriend and I've got 3 children. I'm totally not a serial killer. That's what cops are. Google 40% police. What pops up? You tell me. These people are not humans. There is no way you can watch this. You're going to tell me you're going to watch this. You're going to watch this and tell me these are anything but Nazis in the modern day? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Law and order? Public safety? Protect and serve? These are homeless people. These are people with nowhere to go. And again, oh, it's not about, oh, those properties need to be sold. You know, it's hurting the market. Fuck the market, dude. How much money is being wasted? How much money is being wasted on this? Having this stupid PR show? Having 30 neo-Nazi soldiers go in there and hog-tie children? How much money is being wasted on such a thing? You tell me.
And you know that. This is stolen land.
They have guns pointed at children, dude. They have guns pointed at children. Like, can you believe that? Guns pointed at children? Protect and serve my fucking asshole, dude. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyone, if you support the cops in any capacity, I'm sorry. I really, and I'm not trying to be rude, but if you support the cops in any capacity, your brother's a cop, your uncle's a cop, I'm sorry, okay? I've got a bridge to sell you. Would you like to sign my contract and give me some money on a weekly basis for this bridge that totally exists and is totally not irreparably damaged? Because I would love to sell you that bridge. I would love to. Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. It's just unbelievable. It's not. There's no middle ground. There's no gray area. There's no compromise. There's no centrist position. I'm sorry, but baby or BB, I'm sorry. How did you? Let me cite the Discord message you sent me. I'm so sorry on the pronunciation of your name. I'm so. Was it like baby or something? Pronounced baby. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. Like, and again, I'm sorry. Your dad might have been a good father to you personally, and that may have been true, but that doesn't mean he was a net positive for the world. And yes, I understand, right? Having good, well-meaning people in the positions such as the police is better than not having good, well-meaning people in positions such as police, right? But if you're a cop for 30 years, chances are you've arrested someone for marijuana. Like, again, you said you described, and I'm not trying to make you hate me or make you hate your father, right? You said your father was a by-the-book cop. Well, the books are the problem, okay? If your father arrested someone for smoking a blunt, right? I'm sorry, they have had a net negative effect on the world. Their impact on the world is net negative, not net positive, because the book is what the problem is. And again, I'm not trying to say you should hate your dad. I have people in my family that were cops. They're garbage. They were abusive to my family, to me, and they're trash. I have many family members, not many, like maybe 2 or 3, of my family that were in law enforcement. They're all sociopaths, right? They abused my family, right? They abused me whenever I spoke to them, whenever I was around them. They were awful and evil people because that's the mentality that cops breed. If someone goes into being a police officer and is a good, well-intending person, chances are they're going to come out to be completely different because the police officer, the job of being a police officer is meant to desensitize you to violence that you're inflicting on people. If you arrest someone for marijuana possession, cocaine possession, heroin possession, if you arrest someone for drug possession of any kind, you are a net negative impact on the world. If you evict someone for any reason at any point, you are a net negative on the world. You are not a positive impact on the world. You are a net negative. Now, again, sometimes people do jobs that are useless, right? Now, I would say, you know what else is a net negative? A lot of software developers are probably net negatives. Like the people that work at Facebook, there are probably net negatives on the world. They are doing a disservice to the world on the whole, on the full, than they are, for example, on like making a positive impact. Like for example, Facebook is monopolizing facial recognition software with, and like using it to, police their systems and stuff. Like the point is these are unnecessary positions. That's my point. And I would rather have well-meaning cops in these positions than straight up sociopath, psychopath cops, right? And that's a preferable option, but at the end of the day, a cop is still a cop. A Nazi is still a Nazi. There were many people during the Nuremberg trials who tried to defend their parents. Oh, my dad didn't have a choice. They were following orders. These people used the same arguments during the Nuremberg trials. I'm sorry. If you've ever evicted someone, you're garbage. Like, I can't forgive anyone. Having been homeless before, having faced housing issues, having issues with food insecurity, I cannot forgive someone that has made it their career. That's what they dedicated their life to, I cannot respect them. And if you can, I'm happy for you. And if there's that one exception, I'm happy that your father was nice to you, because a majority of police are domestic abusers. I know this firsthand. The people in my family that were police were domestic abusers. They were evil scumbags, right? So if your dad isn't, that's awesome, and I'm happy, and I'm genuine. I'm not trying to be facetious. I'm grateful that they are not a psychopath, but you have to understand, most of these people are psychopaths. And the books, even if they're doing things by the books are the problem. But I'm not trying to, make you cancel your dad. That's not my position. If you disagree, that's fine. I'm not here to say your dad should be canceled. But I'm just, saying, yeah, these cops are just following orders. They're just doing things by the book, right? But they're using battering rams on children. They're hog tying children and pointing guns at children. Like, I'm sorry, if you're in that position, you don't get to make that argument. I'm sorry. And if you're a cop for 30 years, chances are you've been in that position more than once. Chances are you've busted someone for drug possession more than once. Chances are you've enforced an arbitrary law on a poor person that you wouldn't have enforced on a richer person more than once. And if you've done those things, you're a net negative on the society that we live in. But again, a lot of people are net negatives. But not everyone is a net negative paid for by the state that enacts policy that is made for by the state. Like, for example, right? A used car salesman, they might be a net negative, right, on society, selling people lemons or whatever. But it's not like the state is paying them to do so. And that's why I'm less critical of used car salesmen than I am of police. Because it's not about enforcing the law, it's about enforcing a moral code of ethics. If you sign up to protect and serve, and in that goal, you hog tie children and point guns at them, I'm sorry, you're not protecting and serving. You're a weapon and a tool of fascism. There's no if, there's no and, there's no but, as far as I'm concerned. But that's just me. There are no good cops, because you're either a cop that does immoral, evil shit, or you're a cop that lets them get away with it. If you speak out about the evil shit, you get fired. That's true, for sure. Yeah, baby, I don't disagree. The law needs to be changed. But my point is, you don't need to, people break the law and not have enforcement on them all the time. White-collar criminals, for example, they break the law all the time. Insider trading, breaking contracts, maybe stealing property. Like, white-collar crime never has people with guns point that guns at their faces and hog-tie their children in front of them. Right? Like, when's the last time a white-collar criminal has had their kid with a gun in their face hog-tied and thrown out of a window? Because I've never seen it. So the cops are capable of not enforcing certain laws. So if you're enforcing drug possession laws, but you're not enforcing insider trading laws, I'm sorry, law and order, that argument is out the window. It no longer, there's no longer a discussion there about law and order. It's not about the book. It's about the selective enforcement of that book. But yeah, I mean, I know there's plenty of police officers that I've spoken to. Some of my friends are cops or ex-cops or whatever, and they all tell me the same story, is that the system is corrupt. And my question to them is, unless you're an ex-cop, if you're admitting the system is corrupt, I want you to tell me how you participating in that system is a net positive. Like, again, if you're in there and you're saying, like, I am in there to enforce white-collar crime, and I turn a blind eye on drug possession, I'm down to listen to that argument. Like, if you want to say that, like, yeah, if I see someone with drugs, I will not bring them in. And if I see someone with insider trading, issues, prosecutors, for example, if you have a prosecutor who's in your pocket, we can enforce that, like, kind of stuff. I'm totally down to listen to that argument. But as far as I see, that's it's not working out that way. So, fuck cops. Like, for example, me personally, I'm white, right? I'm white, and I'm fairly attractive, I have smoked weed in front of police in several different states where it's illegal. I have not once been questioned. I have not once been, stopped and frisked. I have not once even been looked at, interestingly, right? Like, I have, people, cops have just ignored me smoking weed. They can smell the weed fumes in front of them, and they have done nothing because I'm a white person. And I've got friends, right, that are not white people that have been smoking, like, a cigarette, like, miles away from a cop, or like, a cop is driving and they see them smoke a cigarette and they pull over and say, "What's in that cigarette? You got weed in there, buddy? You smoking drugs in that cigarette?" I've heard that happen, right? So I mean, I don't know. Until those things change, I feel like we need to prioritize these discussions. Just so you know, I'm mad and I don't dislike any of you. Are you mad or not mad? Is that a typo? I don't dislike you either. We're good. We can agree to disagree. That's fine. But I'm going to explain my position. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. Anyway, fuck cops. That's my opinion on the cops.